Hey everyone, welcome, I am MisterBo, and in today's video we're going to be going over Trials of the Nine. What is it and how does it work for anyone who is new to Destiny and never got to play Trials of Osiris in Destiny 1. So, Trials of the Nine is a 4v4 highly intense PvP competitive game mode. Each week it rotates mode and map, and it starts on a Friday and ends on a Monday. This week it is Countdown on a brand new map called Eternity. Next week it will be Survival on the Altar of Flame, and then it will again rotate to Countdown on the Emperor's Respite, and so forth, Survival, Countdown, Survival. Now it is worth noting that Trials of the Nine is not a match-made PvP game mode. For Trials of the Nine you will need 3 other fireteam members who you can play well with and communicate well with, because you will need that communication. Communication is key when it comes to Trials. And just like in the normal competitive game mode, Trials is also skill-based matchmaking based on the entire team. Now in order to access Trials of the Nine, you're first going to need to complete the main Destiny 2 campaign. You're then going to need to complete Shaxx's Calls to Arm milestone, and after that you also need to have the power level of 260 as a minimum. Now once you've done that, you can then go to the Crucible node in the director, and at the top of the page you will see the node for Trials of the Nine. Now when you click on this node you will see a few things. Firstly, if you don't have 4 members in your fire team, it will tell you there's not enough players to start the activity. Also, it says 4v4, Xbox Live Gold required, and then it says level advantages disabled. Now this is a change from what we saw in Destiny 1. Level advantages disabled means you can be any power level as long as it's above 260, and you're going to be outputting the same amount of damage as someone who might be a higher power level than you. Before in Destiny 1, level advantages were enabled, meaning if you were higher, you'd be doing more damage to people who are a lower level than you. However, in Trials of the Nine, that is not the case, so it doesn't matter what weapons you are using as long as you are above 260. Then under that, you can see your game history. Now this is your passage, or your card as it used to be called, and this indicates how many games you've won and how many games you've lost. Now on the top row you can see your wins, and that goes up to 7. On the bottom is your losses, and that goes up to 3. 3 strikes and you're out. You have to reset your card. Now of course the more wins you get, the more rewards you will earn, and the more milestones you will complete if you are a first time Trials player. Now the goal here is to get 7 wins and 0 losses, and that will count as a flawless, meaning you can go to a special area in the brand new social space and earn more special rewards, for instance an emblem which will then track how many times you've been flawless, as well as a special aura to let other people know you have been flawless. However, if you're not able to go flawless, that doesn't matter. If you're able to get 7 wins and don't max out on the 3 losses, maybe 1 loss or 2 loss, as long as you get those 7 wins, you will earn the ability to go and choose between 3 rewards. But again, along the way, at 3 wins, at 5 wins, as you complete these milestones, you will also be unlocking rewards from the brand new vendor. As well as that, after every win, you will earn tokens which then can be handed in for reputation at this brand new vendor, again getting new rewards. As you can see under the game history, it says potential reward, powerful gear, and that again goes to the milestones. She will be giving you powerful gear which will be higher than what you currently have equipped. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you're in a game. So firstly, Trials of the Nine is a locked loadout game mode. That means as soon as the game mode has started, you cannot change anything on your Guardian. So make sure you have weapons you feel comfortable with and are using a super you know you can get some kills with. There's nothing worse than hopping into a game of Trials, testing out a few weapons, or forgetting to choose a weapon that you're comfortable with and then not being able to halfway through the game, meaning a loss for your team. So again, make sure before you start Trials of the Nine that you confirm with the rest of your fire team that they have the correct loadout that they want to go in with. Of course, Trials of the Nine is all about knowing your fire team and being able to work well with them, but it's also about knowing your opponent. Now at the beginning of a Trials match, you'll be able to see everyone's loadouts, your own team and the opposing team. You'll be able to see their kinetic weapon, their energy weapon, their power weapon, and their exotic armor piece if they have one, along with their subclass. Now this is where you need to pay attention. You need to see what the other team have and plan according to that. At this current time, most people are using the Mida, which is a scout rifle good for long range. If your team maybe isn't using the Mida, it might be worth trying to get up close and personal to that team if they're maybe not rocking anything like an SMG. Of course, worse also in the game of Trials, you need to pay attention to power ammo. This will spawn pretty early on in the game, 30 seconds into the match. There'll be 2 spawns in Countdown and 1 in Survival, but controlling power ammo can win you a match if you're able to play it correctly. And then the final thing that you need to know about Trials of the Nine is the brand new social space, the vendor, and the rewards you can actually earn. So once you get your first win, you'll be invited to go to the Third Spire, a brand new social space in which you can speak to a vendor and unlock your rewards from the tokens you have earned by winning your matches or getting your flawless. If you have managed to complete all of the milestones, then make sure you go and speak to each of the vendor because each one will give you a new reward, and if you've managed to get those 7 wins, the last vendor will give you a choice between 3 weapons, and if you've managed to go flawless, you can jump down into the sand pit at the top and you'll be rewarded with again the emblem and the aura, as well as a selection between 2 armor pieces, which will of course be a higher power level. Now if you do indeed get 3 strikes and you lose your ticket, you'll need to go and reset that. In order to reset that, simply go over to the Trials of the 9 node in the director and hold X until you have reset your Trials ticket. And there you have it, that is Trials of the 9 in Destiny 2. Again, it runs from Friday at 6 PM BST, that's 10 AM PT, to Monday around the same time. And it comes back every week with a rotating game mode and map. So if you have any more questions about Trials of the 9 that you'd like to know, be sure to let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to give you an answer. Hopefully this video helped you guys out if you've never played Trials before. If it did help you out or if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give the like button a big old hug, subscribe for more Destiny 2 content and coverage, boop that bell to be notified when my future videos go live. Hopefully you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging out with me and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.